Hello there! Welcome to my second live stream on Coco Code. I'm really happy to be with you today. So I'd like to show you a new tool from Kenney itself. So Kenney, probably you can recognize him as the asset god. So he created a lot of assets that maybe you have already used, and if you watched my videos, I used a lot of Kenney assets, like this yellow character even used in the today's video. So for sure check him out. But today or yesterday, to be honest, he released a new tool called KenShape. KenShape is a great tool to create a very simple 3D models if you haven't done that before. So yes, hello, this is live. So this is an example on the website. You basically create a basic shape using pixels and these shapes. Then you specify what is the depth of each pixel, and based on that, this tool creates for you a new 3D object. So I've, of course, downloaded it and will be experimenting today how to use it. I'm not a graphic designer myself. I mean, I do some of the Photoshop and some graphics, but I haven't touched really 3D graphics. So I'm really happy about this tool because maybe it will allow me to create some basic shapes. But yeah, let's see. I've used it only for like 1 minute or two to test it out if everything works properly. So we'll be experimenting today. First, I will create a very basic shape and we'll try to import it to Unity, but then I will try to take your request from the chat and maybe we'll come up with some kind of crazy ideas to create. So maybe let's try with very simple example like a sword for our game. So as I said before, first we need to specify the color, and maybe I will create this kind of blade. This is a very simple thing. If you go to this KenShape website, actually there is a very similar shape there, but I'm just trying out how it works and is it simple enough for me. So I'm just drawing the pixels, as you can see. This is a simple sword, and here I would like to have nicely, sharpen end. So I can use these other shapes like this triangle to draw something like that, and it's starting to look as a sword. So using space, I can rotate it. I can already see here based on the cues at the bottom. And yes, I'm using macOS, so KenShape is not by default available on the macOS, but using a very simple tool, I managed to run it on macOS. If you will be interested how to run it on Apple system, I can create a very simple tutorial on that. Okay, so this is our sword, and then let's create a simple handle, or however it should be called. So let's, we'd like to have the field pixel like that, and a handle itself. So I don't know, it's really funny because I haven't done anything like that before. I'm not really into the pixel art also, so that's a fun experience. Maybe let's create a simple shading as well as here. Oh no, it's too light. Okay, we are getting somewhere, and at the end there will be this simple something like that. Okay, so now if I will go to the third tab called Preview, you can see we already have this very simple 3D model for our shape. What software Hello, Kenney. Great to see you here. So you can see on the chat the Kenney, creator of this app. So this is a simple sword I've created. And yeah, now let's try to add some kind of depth into it. Okay, so let's go to the second tab. And I will, for example, create a 2-type depth on the handle like that. Let's see how it looks. Okay, much better. It's maybe not perfect, but we're getting there. I think we can also create a simple light like that. How does it look? Okay. I also noticed we have these weird shapes. Maybe we can use some kind of shape like that to create, you know, scratches on this sword. Okay, it looks nice. And yeah, here it is. Maybe you know what, I will remove that colors at the bottom to make it consistent. And yeah, here it is, a very, very basic 3D shape. So now let's try to export it and go to and export it to Unity. So for Unity, we can use this extension FBX and try to export it. Ooh, okay. I'm using this weird Windows machine. So it looks really odd, but I will just save it to my documents for now. Let's call it sword. Okay, save it. And as I said before, here I've created already an example Unity project. Very, very simple. I'm not really into 3D graphics, so I will just take this shape we've just created and import it to our models and of course to our scene. Okay, here it is. It's of course a little bit too big. Let's go with something like that. Let's change the position. And yeah, it's working. Looks great to me. Of course, this is not the great art because you need to notice that, of course, it's mirrored. So if you like to create some kind of character, for example, it won't be the perfect software because this character will have, for example, heads from both sides. But for these very simple items like swords, maybe I will create a trophy in a second. I think it works great. Okay, so maybe let's move on to the next one. I will do something like that. Okay, I have some questions on the chat. So can you use any color? Yes, you can, but you need to import them. There is a whole page on that in the Kenney documentation. So you can import it as a PNG with new palette of colors. Also, yes, I'm using some kind of wine wrapper on the Mac. Okay, let's create a new shape. I won't save it. As you can see, while creating a new model, you can select bigger or smaller sizes. That really depends on your art, but I will select the smaller one because it's much easier to create. Maybe later on we'll try to create something more complex. As I said before, if you have any ideas for shapes or something that I can create, please say that on the chat. Maybe I will try to draw that and create a new 3D model for that. Okay, so as I said just a second before, I will now try to create a basic, very basic trophy. Maybe something that you receive after after winning the game. I just noticed that while scrolling the mouse scroll, you can rotate these shapes easily, so that will be helpful. Okay, let's create a base of the trophy like that. Maybe a simple, like, you know, here you can put in the name of the someone who won this trophy, for example, and then the base. Okay, this will be the hardest part, so maybe something like that. Okay, it starts looking really nice, I guess. Then a handle. This will be a hard one. Oh, no. This is bad. Maybe something simpler like this. As you can see, it's very, very easy. So basically, everyone can try to create own shapes. But you, of course, need to have some kind of skill to do that, which is obvious. Okay, I have some requests. So how about UFO? Okay, we can. This is a nice idea, actually. We will try to do that next. Oh, maybe something like that. Okay, now when I will go to the preview, it's of course really, really flat, and we don't want to do that. So I will go to the dev and let's go with the higher values like 6 and paint this main area. Let's see how it's looking. Okay, I think that will be good. For now, let's paint all of it like that. And I will also paint the base even with the higher number. So let's go with the 8. And you know what? Let's make this little field for the name a 7 depth. So you can see there is this small shadow around it. Okay, I think the base looks great. I mean, this orange part. But the handle doesn't look good if it's that heavy. So I will change the depth into 3 maybe of the handles. Let's see. Okay, better, but still maybe 2 this time. I will also modify this handle a bit in just a second. Okay, I think we're getting there. Also, how about maybe changing the borders of this, let's call it cap. Instead of 6, maybe let's change them to 5. And we'll see how does it look. Oh no, wait. What's going on here? It's not that easy, to be honest, to make. Okay. I know that's stupid, but I just noticed we can easily preview it here. I think we should also make this leg maybe a 4. Okay, that's better. I'm not really happy about this middle part. Maybe I will make it even smaller. Oops. And how about also changing this? Okay, I think it looks pretty nice. You know what? I just noticed that we can add this nice triangle shape to the handle to make it, more smooth. Like instead of this pixels floating on, we can create a nice pixels like curves. So let's try with something like that. Yeah, on the chat you can see this is a real limitation of this software, but Kenney already said that he's of course developing it and maybe will add some kind of new features to make it asymmetrical. But so far I think for the start it's really good. I mean, for someone who haven't created any 3D model before, I'm already pretty happy with that, to be honest. Maybe I will change the handle color. There is this option to only change the color, which is really helpful after you created something. You know what, this is a good idea, but I'm not really happy with the colors we can use. So that won't look really good, so maybe I will. Okay, how about this darker one? Okay, that's nice. And let's quickly fix that depth issue. Yeah, there is this round brush and we can actually use it for the base at the bottom. So maybe something like that. Oh, okay, I will fix that in a second. And we can even, oh, this is a cool idea, to change it. Wait a second, what's going on? Okay, so this shape doesn't have any layer. Okay, this is a new thing I just noticed. So we can't create layers of these shapes. So right here, I know it may be not obvious. I will try to zoom in. Right here, I tried to create this smooth shape to have this label rounded, but it's not possible because behind it we will have basically a transparent, you can see it here on the model, we'll have a transparent basically hole. So I can't create a smooth rounded corner here. I will just try to fill it up. Okay, and as suggested, I will also try to round the corners here. Okay, that doesn't look really good, or is it? I think for now we can go with that. It's not perfect, of course, but for the second art I've created, it's more or less okay. Okay, as before, I will quickly export it, save it as a, here in my documents, save it as a trophy, save. Ooh, it froze. Don't tell me that this great trophy we've created is now frozen. I mean, the app crashed. It looks like. Okay, I guess that's what happens when you open the first version of the app. Also, I'm running it on the, let's call it emulator, Wine on macOS, so there might be some kind of issue with it. I will, unfortunately, will need to force quit it. And let's try to open it again. Library test 2, because I tested if it works. Okay, we're back. Unfortunately, we need to start over. But if you just joined to the live stream, we're creating these nice 3D shapes using a new tool from Kenney. So if you have any request for 3D tool, 3D maybe tools to create, but any 3D objects we can create on the live stream, be sure to comment and maybe I will try to shape it up. Okay, so before I've seen UFO as a request, so maybe we'll try to do that. Let's go with the... As I said before, I'm creating this small grid because it's much easier to fill up instead of filling up this whole big area. So yeah, if you have some kind of idea for the large area, be sure to comment it. So maybe, okay, UFO. We're creating this shape as this window at the top of the UFO. And then we have basically this green thing at the bottom, like the whole spaceship. Okay, this is a project that will look really, really bad in the drawing stage, but after adding some depth, it will be pretty fun, I guess. I will add these rounded corners here and here, okay? And maybe let's add them to the green shape as well. Okay, so as I said, when you go to the preview, it doesn't look really great. It's just a really flat UFO. But let's go to the depth. Maybe let's start with creating this top part, setting this top part to the 2 depth, and then I will try to create this I don't know how to say that, rounded 3D shape using different depth numbers. So because I like to have this middle part the thickest, I will set it to 8, and then each layer let's set to the smaller number, like that. And we'll see how it looks. Of course, you can see the preview at the bottom. And yeah, so I think the idea is good, but unfortunately, this tool does not allow you to have higher values than 8. And it's okay, I guess, but it's not great. Maybe I will change this further ones to the 1. And maybe let's shape it a bit differently. Like, you know what? I will make it smaller. Smaller UFO, and then maybe I will make it bigger in the Unity. Hello everyone on the chat. Hello, hello, hello. We're shaping UFO right now. This is one of these projects that doesn't look great in the drawing stage, but should look pretty interesting after adding some depth into it. Okay. Also, it gives you an idea that basically everyone can create it, because I'm not really great at that, I believe. As always, if you have any ideas, feel free to comment that in chat. And let's try it one more time. I will set this last one to 1 this time. And then maybe let's go with the 3, 5, and okay. Okay, it looks like I'm not great at creating UFO. But you get the idea what I tried to achieve, I guess. It's more or less okay. Maybe let's change this 8 to 7. It will be a bit better. Okay, let's call it UFO. It's not great. I will try to add some kind of details maybe. I don't know, maybe it will help with something, but I don't think so. It's not. Do you have, Kenny, on maybe some kind of challenges for me? I mean, I don't know if it's a good idea to take challenges right now because I'm really bad at this, but some kind of shape to start off. Okay, I'll maybe try to export it really fast. Thanks for trying. This is a great comment to sum it up. Okay, you know what? I will first save it because maybe I will have some kind of error with exporting. KenShape UFO, save it. Okay, and now let's try to export it. To documents as always. UFO, yes. Okay. Okay, we successfully exported that. Now let's go to the Unity. I will try to import our UFO into the models and of course to the scene. Oh wow, it looks really terrible. I will make it a bit smaller. Okay, I'm trying to create some kind of art out of it, like to have this picture at the end that will resemble everything we've created, but I don't know if that's really possible. Let's say that's UFO. It looks more or less okay in Unity. Okay, any ideas what can I create next? You're suggesting me, yeah, to create basically some kind of a pixel art with this, and really helps you. Yeah, so basically this tool, in summary, I would say, is a great starting point. It's if someone is creating pixel arts already and would like to have them in the 3D. Yes, so if you have some kind of pixel art, items, characters, you can easily make them 3D out of pixels. But if you're not doing pixel arts, it's still a lot of fun, I would say. I'm having fun, at least. Let's create a new item. Okay, this will be a very easy one because I haven't seen any requests from you. Make a phone? I'm thinking if there is something. Okay, I will make a phone, but I mean, it sounds like really, really simple idea. Of course, thanks for the request and idea. Maybe we'll come up with some kind of way to make it a bit more interesting. So let's make a very simple like smartphone with the screen. This is like the old smartphone. Okay. You know what? I will make it like that. And let's add the button on the bottom. Oops. Yeah, and basically I can do some kind of apps maybe like that. And we can try to create a simple, very simple depth. Like, oops, not 7, 2. Maybe 2. Okay, it's more or less okay. Maybe let's make these apps a little bit more standing out. And that's it. That's our phone. We can make that button weirdly sticking out like that. Maybe let's choose a bit better colors, like a few of them. Okay, yeah, a very simple font. Are there any shortcuts? I'm not sure if this is the question for me or for Kenney, because we are having some kind of questions and answers for Kenney on the chat. But yeah, on the bottom you can see a very simple list of shortcuts, like ability to only draw color instead of drawing shapes. You can also rotate using spacebar, and that's it. I also believe you can do something like Ctrl S to save, or you can't. Can't really test that because I'm experimenting on macOS, which I said before, it's a bit tricky here. Okay, as before, let's try to export it. Export to documents, phone, and save it. And as before, let's go to Unity. Let's import it from my documents and make it a lot smaller. Okay, something like that. Okay, I think we can take like 2 more requests maybe, and we'll start to finish things off. So how about maybe let's think. I will create a new, don't save, 16 by 16. I was thinking about creating a Coco Code logo like the coconut, but I'm not sure if that's possible here. I mean, coconut is really rounded, so it doesn't really make sense on the pixel art. I would need to create this maybe 32 by 32 to make it more rounded, but I believe it's not really a good idea. But tell me if you'd like to see it. If you have any other suggestions, as always, type it in the chat. How about creating a very simple, I mean, the key will be very simple. I can even draw it right now, like something like that. And there isn't any depth into it. I don't know why I wanted to create the key. For some kind of reason, I believe the key will be interesting thing to do here. But of course, this is not the greatest key you've seen, but how about something like that? And a little bit of depth, maybe, you know, some kind of shapes here also, because keys of course have this, a lot of shapes here. I don't know, maybe something like that. It looks really off. Oh, idea for a brush. Okay, that's an idea. I don't know if it's a good idea to do something like this. It's really weird, but okay, let's go with it. Let's change the depth to 2 for everything. And I will leave this bottom part as 1. So you will have this. Oh, something like that. Okay, this is not the greatest key you've seen. Maybe I will also add a little bit of shading. Only color. Okay, it's not a good idea. I will revert that. Okay, let's go with that. Very, very simple key. I will export it, and we'll do one last thing. The last chance to post your suggestions. Okay, to export. Of course, it allows you to export in many different types of formats for different kinds of engines. You can easily check that on the Kenney website in the documentation what export format should be selected for your engine. Let's call it, of course, a key. Save it. Let's go to Unity one more time. Oh, I haven't zoomed in. Let's import the key. Let's make it a lot of smaller, maybe a little bit more. And yeah, do something like this. Okay, so the last shape we'll create today will be, I don't know yet. Let's quickly check that. And drawing, okay. Drawing, let's create new. No, I don't want to save that. New, don't save. Okay, last chance. As we said before, we're creating a 3D objects using new tool from Kenney. Kenney itself, who is currently or was on the chat. And we're creating some kind of 3D models made out of the pixel art. And we're creating currently the last shape. I'm thinking of any objects around me. How about maybe a very simple like glass bottle? I know it's simple, but I'm not sure if that will be really possible using that. It should be. Okay, I'm creating it like that. This. Okay. And oh, you are still great to hear that. Jumping John 3D. Ah, okay. So of course, Jumping John is a game I've created on the live stream. Actually, yeah, as I said before, I was thinking about creating something related to the channel itself, like Coco Code logo. That would be really fun, but I'm not sure if that would be really possible. Okay. To be honest, I'm pretty happy with this bottle. Like we can add some kind of label here. Of course, that could be also a potion, like health potion. That we'll need to create to change that to the red. Okay. Okay, and let's change this to the rounded on the end. How does it look like? Okay. This is one of these things that I will try to experiment with the depth. So previously we tried to create this UFO, which is not really great. I tried to achieve this rounded circle using this different kinds of depth, but it's not really successful, I would say. We'll see how it will go with this one. So I will start with very basic depth around the label. So as before with the trophy, I will try to make that label a bit like inside of the bottle. I think that looks fun. Okay. How about this end part? Like, okay, it doesn't make sense. Like that. How about 3? Okay, and maybe instead of this rounded corners, we can use this shape, which is pretty fun, I would say. I mean, it's not some kind of rounded corners or sharp edges, but it's basically half of the pixel. So it can be helpful in many ways. Like this maybe. Okay, I think it looks much better than before with the rounded corners. So that's pretty fun. Okay, now let's try experimenting a bit with this, you know, rounded shape of the bottle, like oval shape. So the first thing I would do would be to make this inside thing like the higher depth, but I'm pretty sure that will look just bad. Like maybe not 4. Let's go with 3. How is it? It's not that bad. To be honest, I will maybe move that label to the second depth. Something like that. And maybe finally, let's go back on the edges here. Okay, I'm thinking about that. Let's check that in the preview. Okay, so to be honest, I think that if we would go with the depth like full on with the free depth, it will look just basically much better than trying to make it like rounded on or something. Yeah, let's basically go with that. We can of course experiment with the colors. We can try to make some kind of shading on it. So how about maybe like having half of the bottle in the lighter shade? No, the contrast is too big for it. So of course this is something that basically I will need to experiment a bit, because currently we are having this default palette, and as I said before, you can easily change that based on the instructions in the documentation on Kenney website. Okay, so yeah, finally, this is not the perfect shape, and next time if you'd like to see any more shapes made using this tool on the live stream, I'll try to maybe prepare some kind of more ideas. But as I said before, this is basically a first impression of this app, and I think it works really great for the first release, and I'm really looking forward to any future updates of it. So this is our show reel of the items we've created on this live stream. At last, I will import this bottle to the models. Okay. And here is our bottle. I think for finally this set of items we've created based on your suggestions looks pretty nice. Maybe colors aren't great, and of course we can create some kind of more versatile items, but for the first impressions I think it looks great. As I said before, this is a great tool to start your adventure with basically 3D shapes, and I remember that I was really excited about it when Kenney posted first like animations or videos from the software on his Twitter. So yeah, for sure, go check it out. Link is or will be in the description. And yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot, Kenney, for tuning in and for answering our questions. I'll surely will be following future updates of this software, and of course future assets that you will create, and I will try to show them in my videos. Thanks a lot everyone for tuning in on this live stream. Thanks a lot to my awesome patrons for supporting this channel, and I hope to see you soon on my other PlayFab and Unity UI videos, and of course any other future live streams. Be sure to check out our Discord, and yeah, that's it. Thanks a lot and see you soon. Bye.